Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dead Unicorn. My name's Corey. We are playing Spelljammer, Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons having a moment right now. We're not affiliated with Wizards of the Coast or Dungeons and Dragons or Hasbro or anything like that. So don't. Yeah, we got we got good guy Paizo back here. That's right. That's right, Keith.
Are we
Um,
just gonna pretend we're not playing Spelljammer?
that's
Oh, I'm sorry. Shh, my bad.
It's more like we're not a we
We're
don't have any
playing
control
fantasy
over
in
that.
space.
yeah. We
We're
don't have
playing fantasy in space.
Fantasy in space, and we're not earning more than $750,000 while doing so.
Yeah,
Don't
we
add
just come up with a name no one's ever heard. Like y'all are just warriors in space doing some Star Wars. No one's using that, right?
Look, 5/5 of us, or no, 4/5 of us were probably playing Spelljammer back when another company, TSR, owned the brand. So, we've been here for a long time, and we're too old and stubborn to change.
We want our
Yeah.
Phlogiston back.
Yeah. Spike, get out while you still can.
There's still hope for you.
I just finished my homebrew setting.
The wonderful thing about homebrew settings is they can be system agnostic.
Yes.
Anyways, Keith, Brenna, Spike, and Howard are all here. We got our characters ready. We're gonna go, but before we do that, thank our patrons scrolling in this corner right up here. Thank you, patrons, for supporting our stream. Let's get to it. Howard is our game master.
All right. Let me pull up tonight's game notes because I have them. I do. Here they are.
We're in
Ooh,
trouble.
fancy.
In our last episode on Saloon, the forest moon of Toril, known as Lyra to its inhabitants, the crew of the Melina had recovered a lost artifact, the crystal sword of King Fincendoro Orthrendron. I really had to put that in the notes. I was never going to remember. After trekking past a tree that flowed with dark energy from the Shadowfell, ignoring the temptations of treasures beneath it, and after leaving warning signs for other adventurers to similarly bypass great treasures in exchange for an abundance of exciting caution, they journeyed back to the sewers beneath the Temple of Lyra in the trading center hub of these moon elves. This hub is the only port that the Lyrans allow the greater spelljamming universe to use to make contact with their people. But it's a very large and prosperous city with 50 spelljamming space docks, all kinds of colorful businesses, theaters, and dwellings. And our heroes have just met with Nerifa Ashgard, the priestess that hired them, and they immediately decided to renegotiate their contract with her, having realized they could fleece her for a lot more than they had agreed upon. With Beetlejuice's natural 20, the priestess Nerifa Ashgard embraced our heroes as potential long-term allies. She promised to not only pay them, but to provide armor for their paladin, a safe port for future use, to arrange for them to be able to traverse Saloon, and to seek them out first for future jobs. Now they go forth to enjoy the festivities of the Dusk Festival, which will conclude with a ceremony, which is normally just a very rich, standard ritual for these people. But tonight, our PCs are aware that it's going to be a slight change because during that ceremony, the priestess Nerifa is going to be challenging for basically the position of queen of this entire moon. And as we move forward at this point, you are all free to head out. She did promise to hand you some spending cash before you went out in to enjoy the festival. So you do have money that is, in addition to the 500 gold she's already paid you, you each have an additional 20 gold to spend as you would like during the festivities. You have about 6 hours, it's noon now, until you need to start making your way back towards the main temple so that you can be sure to witness this ceremony. In addition, let's see. Oh, the other thing that needs to be noted, I suppose, is just that Eudora's player is not here tonight. Eudora was currently looking like a different Harangon rather than her usual self. so that she still is the Harangon within the party, but not someone that is obviously recognized as the one that has wanted posters looking for her. So at this point, as she decides to go and enjoy the festivities by herself, she will just change into a regular moon elf, or a Lyran, Selunians, Lyrans. There's so many names.
A lunatic.
One of them. And she will go and
No,
be
that's
enjoying
us.
the festivities on her own. Because she last minute said, can't make it after all. What would the rest of you like to do? So that you're aware, the festivities include like parades, and there's, you can go watch jugglers and other types of street entertainers. There's all kinds of places where you can get fresh pastries, funnel cakes for some reason. Things that have been fried that should not be fried.
Look, Howard, they don't serve funnel cakes. They serve moon pies.
No, it's funnel cakes.
I
They're just pies here, man.
They're just right. Do you have pies down on Earth? Yes, but we call them Earth moon pies.
Tinker is going to try all of the weird fried food.
I'm gonna go carousing and dancing. I'm going to get some drinks and make some friends and dance and drink and dance and drink and drink and dance.
I'm going to find a nice pub where I can watch everybody drinking and dancing, and I'll probably have a few drinks myself. But
In fact, that's my personality trait, is going to new ports and call and drinking and carousing, making friends at every place I go.
All right. There is something that was made clear, just so you know. You are currently accepted as people that are visiting from the greater universe, which means that you are supposed to stay within the city limits, but they're pretty well defined. You wouldn't accidentally cross them. They have guards and such patrolling. So just to make sure that everyone understands at this point, you are accepted for being here. You're no longer sneaking around in the forests of Saloon.
Yes, we're pilgrims.
And Kios, was there anything you wanted to look into?
I'm a pilgrim.
I think as a guest, he would have the good wherewithal to stay with the less partying druid, less partying elf, even though partying does sound fun. Just hang back, have some drinks, take it all in. Try not to cause a scene.
it's fun to watch everybody else make asses of themselves.
And speaking
Yes, it
of
is.
that, from where you two are sitting at the bar, your backs to the bar, kind of just taking in the view of everybody doing whatever they're doing. There is two half orcs that are carousing fairly loudly. They have found a game of strength. It's basically the classic, bring down the hammer on the pedal and try and get a thing to ring a bell. But they're getting a little rowdy. You can see the guards just sort of like slowly making their way, like getting closer to this, as they're like, "None of you elves can take me. I am unstoppable." And then he's like, bam, and he keeps hitting it. And there's the elf that's clearly working this midway game is just like, "Oh, actually, you're supposed to pay for tickets to keep reading that. Nope, it's fine. I can't give you the prize. You will give me the prize. Maybe just the one." Beyond that, though, for the most part, people seem to be settled in. Like I said, this is actually like for them the 14th day of the festival and the final day of the festival. So a lot of the really rowdy folks have already been arrested and locked away and given a chance to sleep that off. But there's still like the few stragglers. There are some people that are a little drunk and occasionally flashing people and doing other inappropriate things. The most of the sailor folk have gotten pretty sauced already. But there are amongst the crowd the occasional person that appears to be made out of a slime or jelly. A few of you probably know what a plasmoid is. You do recognize also there are some people that are a race that looked like praying mantises. Seems the easiest way to describe the thrycreen. If you know what it is, you know what it is. Beyond that, there's smattering, of course, of dwarves, halflings, humans, and so on. There are two large hippo-like figures in military uniforms in a shooting gallery that are basically trying to one-up each other and bragging about the ranks and things they've achieved and the hunts they've been on, while really fairly close to matched, actually, in their shooting. Is there any games or anything that y'all are interested in checking out? Do y'all wish to interact with any of the NPCs I've described, or are you just going to get drunk and dance and whatnot?
At the moment, I'm just having a drink, sitting back, and enjoying the show put on by these half-orcs or these the GIF or whoever else, what they're doing. I'm enjoying the menagerie.
It is quite that. All right.
Tinker's gonna try and do everything.
That's part of the menagerie that I'm enjoying.
All right. Corey, as Beetlejuice is out there carousing and dancing,
Right.
if you'd like to make a roll to see if you can find a dance partner who's India, you're more than welcome to go for that.
I'd love to do that, but is it based on my dancing or is it based on my charisma?
Well, I feel like dancing would. I could see dancing being a dex-based activity. So maybe acrobatics, but
performance.
It's
performance is charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Is performance is charisma.
Well, I believe
You could do a charisma-based acrobatics.
Well, let me see how long my enhanced ability goes for here. It is
magic to
up to
give him
1
the steroid
hour.
push he needs to get a date.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's give myself some Eagle Splendor. We'll cast that, give myself some Eagle Splendor, and then we'll do a performance check with advantage. I just went Texan.
You shake that amazing plumage in front of everyone, and we are impressed.
We will do
Let's
a
roll those
performance
dice.
check, and we will dance.
We can dance if we want to.
You can
On
leave your
19,
friends behind.
19's pretty good. I think.
Yep. That's really good. All right. With a 19, yeah, you are actually an elf, although not obviously not Illyrian. It's obvious to them that you're foreign, but you're able to play that off in the suave foreigner type thing that the other elves
I was
are
about
like,
to say,
"Ooh."
I'm not foreign. I'm exotic.
There you go. And you're not an orc, and that's always appreciated amongst these elves, especially with the two orcs being really awful. Actually, it's one orc because it's two half orcs. I believe that's how math works.
I will also try and impress people, like if with my whip skills, like I'll scavenge a bunch of bottles and then like put them up on
You're
a
doing
wall
tricks.
and just and smash bottles for people. That's always fun.
Always.
Yeah, you've got a Lyran woman who is excited to be dancing with you for a while.
Excellent.
And she does seem to ooh and awe at your amazing whip skills. And Tinker, I'm going to need a con save if you're actually trying every fried food here.
Oh
It's a lot
no,
of food,
Tink's
not a
got
lot
the
of food.
poops.
I
All right. You are able to hold it together, but you do start hitting the point where you're like, smaller bites next time. Whew, this is a lot. How do they fry ice cream? It's so weird. But a lot of the food is amazing. At a few places, because you are arcane trained, you do recognize that there is there are a couple with, you don't know if they're full wizards, but they are definitely capable of the cantrip prestidigitation, and they are occasionally flicking a prestigious spell to enhance the flavor of the foods that are being passed out. And it appears these guys are doing it specifically for ladies, which you happen to be one. So lucky you, you got the good stuff. All right. And then, of course, it doesn't take y'all long to realize you don't know where Eudora is. You haven't seen a Harangon for a while. And when you do see one, it's a male Harangon strutting around with a lot of equipment you don't remember her using. Although I think you did discuss it with her and she did make it clear she actually can change the appearance of her equipment. So could be her. You don't know. You're not sure where she is now.
I think I'll leave this one alone.
All right.
She'll catch up when she needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the majority of the fest will pass without any major incident if you aren't involving yourself in anything, as they do have their own security that do eventually go ahead and take the half orcs aside, and they end up getting escorted back to their ship rather than locked up, which is almost like it's a kindness to them based on the fact that another man walked up and spoke on their behalf. He was a human. He was in some sort of a uniform. You don't really recognize it, but you get a sense that he had some leadership to him, like maybe he was their captain.
Nah, I was going to say, I think the coxswain just came and grabbed them by the ears. That's how that sounded to me.
Pretty much, yes. That's exactly.
And it's not the captain that you want to that you want to avoid. The captain might just laugh it off. It's the coxswain. He's the one that's going to screw you.
Well, when it comes to this, I will have to always defer to Keith's naval knowledge, as he's an actual Navy man. All right. So as the night passes, it doesn't get any really darker, as you are in a land of pretty much eternal the same time. So if you are really paying attention, or maybe if you're a druid or some such, you might be able to pick up on the fact that it is incrementally darker than it was hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you are is finally beginning to pass into the time beyond dusk within this moon, which tells you that the 6 hours has passed and it's about time for this final closing ceremony of all the festivities to come together. And I believe that two of you said you were drinking, but nobody implied they were drinking to excess.
Oh,
no,
definitely not.
Okay.
Oh, Tinker is.
All right. Well, then
However,
needs to make another con save.
However, in my days with the Astral Navy, I did develop a fondness for dwarven ale, so I've been nursing a couple of those.
I'll leave it to you if you feel that you're going to do enough with dwarven ale that you feel you should roll, since you are an elf.
I suspect that there's enough coming up that I want to go just easy enough to not incapacitate myself.
All right. And Tinker, with that, you are in a happy place. Not that that's unusual for you anyway, but
Speaking of which, did you see the message I sent you?
oh, nope. Hang on. Oh, there's a little red dot there and everything saying it. Okay. All right. Go ahead, I guess. We'll say that was earlier. So go ahead and make a. You don't have any of the cool sorcery points. You can't make your things automatically not noticeable, can you? Or is that one not noticeable?
I don't know.
There are ways for that to be not noticeable, but I don't think the standard version is. I think the standard version is your hand is doing kind of the thing.
Well, mine are technically via little automatons.
Right. Okay. Cool. Hey, Beetlejuice, as you are dancing and this girl is entranced with you and thinks you're awesome, give me a perception check.
All right, perception check it is. Where's my perception? Oh, I got +5. Oh, how's that?
That's great perception. And then I guess to pull this off, I'm gonna say it's not really dexterity. I mean, mm, I'm just gonna say, describe your outfit for me real quick, Corey or Beetlejuice.
Well, Corey needs to describe Beetlejuice's outfit,
One of the two.
but I got the.
Just don't tell me what Corey's wearing because I don't care.
Unless he's wearing nothing, in which case we very much care.
So, I am wearing a elven chain shirt, magic. But underneath that, I have like kind of a billowy shirt. I have like lace pants that kind of lace up on the side, and I got big boots, big old boots.
You are completely aware when this occurs. You're dancing. The pants that you have above where they're laced, because they're laced up the side, there's a mighty tug. They pull somewhat down. The mighty tug. It actually is only like I think 10 pounds of
It's a
pressure.
mighty
Enough to
tug.
pull it down. But
You giving me a mighty tug?
you spin around and you see a giggling Tinker off
Who's
in the
drunk.
distance, just within range, and her two little automatons fluttering back towards her.
I turn around with my pants down and I just don't care and I just look at Tink and I go, "Jealousy don't suit you, Tink." And I start pulling my pants back up.
And he just starts helicoptering.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was for, but I threatened last time that I was gonna do it.
I do remember that.
I don't remember what it was for, but she's just like, you deserved that. I don't remember what for, but you deserved that.
You know, I think that actually works perfect for Tinker as well. That like she made a mental note, I'm pantsing him later. Forgot the reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
I would have to rewatch the whole episode before for it to click, to be honest.
And I'll say-
kind of behind on that.
I'll say, "My apologies to the ladies and the children around."
This is basically a Mardi Gras style of festival, isn't it? This is some of the atmosphere of.
Yeah,
what
there
we're
are other
seeing.
people that are flashing on purpose, so no one is like absolutely
So,
like
really-
horrified. You know, no pearl clutching or anything.
No, just bead exchanges.
I guess turn back to the
You get
lady
some
I'm
free, you get a
with.
free necklace, Corey.
Turn back. Woo! Whoopsh. Put that on. Turn back to the lady I'm with, and I'm like, "Sorry about the spoilers, babe."
What else that whip do?
All right. Okay, so that moves on. Y'all are now going to the temple. As people are kind of filtering in, the atmosphere inside the temple is much more somber than outside. You'll notice a lot of the people that are outside enjoying the festivities aren't interested, to be honest, in the church part. Not everybody that celebrates really cares about going to church for the churchy thing. They're like, yeah, no, I just want to do the fun stuff. So, and especially people that are off world, they're like, no interest.
I'm very interested.
There is people that are kind of talking in like a chant. They are like kind of lining the sides of the inside of the church or the temple. For those that speak Elven, they're repeating some just basically like old Elven proverbs, probably from a holy book that's local to this planet or this moon. It doesn't sound exciting. It's mostly, there is mention, since some of you speak it, of the king Fincendoral Orthrandron. And there's mention of Lyra, which Okay, so if you're not from the moon is Saloon. The people are Saloonian, and the name is actually in honor of the goddess Saloon. But if you're from here, replace all those words with Lyra, which I think it's weird. You'd think that maybe they'd be like, no, the goddess is Lyra, and they're like, and the moon is Lyra, and we're Lyrians. And like, you just changed the whole thing, all of the things. But there's mention of Lyra and her protection. One of the things you pick up on, for those that remember, is that this moon is actually hidden from the planet beneath it by a huge just illusion, which is supposedly a gift from Lyra. And there is mention about that, and that there is something about this this thing that you're about to enter into is an oath of the replenishment of a vow, basically to continue to protect the inhabitants of Lyra, and to pay respect to Lyra, the goddess, for her protection as well. And it sounds very traditional. It's obviously steeped in tradition. There are a lot of people there wearing very ornamental robes. They have kind of like half masks underneath the hoods that cover their faces, like the top part. And they have all kinds of like moon and little sigils and such cut into the masks. And they are just repeating this chant. Up at the front of the dais, there are some people in much more ornamental robes that look like they are about to give some really, really long speeches. None of this looks in any way interesting, but there are a couple of guards that are intermingled amongst these people that are walking through. But you'll even notice that their armor has been ornamented as well. Like things have been added to make them fit better in. Yes,
I have a question. You said they have moons on their mask, like crescent-shaped moons?
I said moons, but some of them are crescent because there are different phases of the moon indicated. Yes.
How would they know they're on the moon?
Maybe the moon goddess told them. Maybe they're not pictures of the moon. Maybe they're pictures of the planet.
Maybe.
Or pictures of the other moon.
I remember saying this, like when we first landed on the moon, that the Earth would be the moon to the moon people.
There is another moon. Toril has two.
Oh yeah, there you go.
One is always hidden. So Toril has one that most people on Toril know about.
Right.
Although there are moon elves on Toril. I feel like some of them might have shared that secret by now. Because there are ways to just use telepathy and rip things out of people's minds. There's no way to guarantee a secret once it's there, All right. I'm tempted to wait for Tinker, but I haven't got a lot for this particular part. She's not missing too much. You are, as you came in, you are seated. Everybody is, they find space for a lot of people. You want to say that this place will seat maybe 600 or 700 people, which is very big for a temple. I realize it's not a stadium, but it's still very, very roomy. And there are actually some programs that are offered out. There are pamphlets, and if you can read the Elven script on them, it is just a list of the hymns in order, which ones they're going to be singing, so that you know what you're supposed to stand up and do. But it doesn't actually have the words. You should know those. Come on, people. Know your hymns.
And your hers.
Joy to the moon. The moon
theys.
is moon.
All right. So with that, the proceedings begin, and there's a lot of talking. It's all in Elven. And so apologies to those that don't speak it, but they don't apologize because whatever, you're here, you should know it. And
I mean, everybody goes to Catholic church and nobody speaks Latin. They just sit there and
anymore.
Well, some of that stuff is in Latin. They do,
but everybody goes to America and is expected to speak American
or Latin.
All right. So Tinker, you missed the very exciting scene. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's done now. So anyway.
Okay. She was probably asleep during it anyways.
All right. So this goes on for a good half an hour of people standing and singing in Elven. You're welcome to get up and attempt it. There are no hymnals conveniently provided like a regular church here in America would have. I assume it's like that in Canada. I don't know. I've never been to church there.
Church is church.
I haven't been to church either, so.
In Texas, church serves chicken.
Church
Not-
is chicken.
That's
Not
right.
in that area where they do the singing and the.
No. Those are two different churches. One is
Oh, you're talking
non-denominational.
about church's fried chicken. Okay.
We actually do have some of those here as well.
You have Church's Chicken? I heard abroad that Church's
It-
renames itself Texas Chicken.
The church's chicken that I've had is the oiliest chicken I've ever had.
Oh. Their biscuits
sounds
are
like
good,
the right
though.
one.
So
Although we do have some of those churches here in Texas where you get to, play with snakes.
Yes. Yes.
Is that what they're calling it now?
Play with snake church, yes.
Churches in New Jersey have donuts sometimes, like once a month, says Amy Trow on our
neat.
chat. Yeah.
That'd almost be worth it.
Sounds
Like a little
good.
donut halo or
I mean, I think donuts are nice, but the chicken, if there's anything that's clear, is that God prefers barbecue.
I mean, chicken and donuts is as good as chicken and waffles, in my opinion.
That would get me.
I mean, if you're going with fried chicken, Lee's famous fried chicken is the way to go. I don't know
Okay.
if y'all have that, but
I do
I
kind
have
of like
not heard of
Popeyes,
Lee's.
though.
Do you
I
like
haven't tried Popeyes, so I can't argue that. But of the ones that I've had, Lee's is definitely the way to go.
I have always been a fan of the spicy fried chicken from Popeyes. It's not terribly spicy, but it has a good flavor to it. But anyway, moving on.
Anyway,
Moon God.
When we're done advertising for chicken that's not paying us. But hey, chicken restaurants, reach out. We'll work with you.
Gamers love food.
notice
Unless
that we
you're that
didn't-
one that hates gay people. We don't want to talk to you.
I was gonna say,
No,
notice
fuck that.
that we didn't mention the big name one.
Right. Chick-fil-A hate.
Yeah, that one too.
The ones that we weren't. I thought we weren't naming it. We were just calling it the one that hates gay people.
Well, Chick-fil-A
I didn't
hate,
technically say it.
works.
Whew. Moon.
Anyway.
Moon God. Moon God, help us.
Mooning right along.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
I too am on the spectrum.
Do you mean you're autistic or?
What?
Porque no las dos.
He missed the R in that. He meant artistic.
Artistic, yes. I am
All right,
artistic.
So
moving on
right
past
along.
the chicken, back to church. After about a half hour of really boring ceremony, which I won't force you to role play, although I feel like it might have been close to that by now.
By this point, the chicken has crossed the church.
All right. There is you can tell that there are people that are aware that something is going wrong, like not according to the plan, as there's a small procession entering during a time when the person in the pulpit is still speaking, and there wouldn't be a procession of any fanfare entering. Like a late person entering and like sneaking in to grab a seat is one thing. This is, two people in front, one person in the middle, two people in back, proceeding down the main aisle, in a very like
Look at me sense.
elegant march right up to the front. And the person in the middle, you will definitely recognize as the priestess Ashgard. What's her name? Narifa Ashgard. And you'll actually recognize at least one of the people there that are flanking her as being one of her personal guards that you had met before, and you can guess that the others are probably other guards that she had been networking with, allowing her to do things in secret within the temple. And they do march directly up, and when they get close enough, finally the person speaking stops, and still speaking in Elven, asks, "What is the meaning of this? You are breaking the ceremony." And she responds in Elven that she challenges as the one who has the right to give the oath. Yes. You want to say something?
As this important scene is happening, I will lean over to either Kios. I think Tinker speaks Elven. I'm not sure, but
No.
okay, I'll lean into either one of those people and tell them what is going on so they understand the context of the entire situation, because the shit's about to go down and they need to be part of it.
I'm filling in the other one.
I was awake the whole
they're
time.
Both, if they aren't both able to hear what Beetlejuice is saying, I'll fill in the other.
You got the other one? All right.
Yeah. I'm figuring that Kihos and Tinker were like slumped together, like their heads like snoring and like a little bit of drool. We're both like, we're fine. What's up? Exactly.
All
I
right.
stood up, I sat down. I stood up, I sat down. I stood up, I sat down. It was church.
I didn't realize
You
it
just
was
like-
a Catholic ceremony.
Tinker just like grabbing that big arm and pulling it around her like it's a blanket. And...
One of his ears twitch.
All right. So, as I was saying, basically they're saying you're up the ceremony, and she's saying, "I'm challenging for the right to give the oath of protection, blah, 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 based on my heritage as the last descendant of King Fincendoral Orthrandon."
So basically, by the power of
notes ready
Grayskull?
today.
Very well done, sir. Very well done.
And there's a lot of gasping and people going, "You can't do it, no." And then she says, "As my birthright," she pulls forth the crystal sword that y'all procured for her. She says some words, and when she does, the sword changes into another item in her hand. Either from this distance, you're not sure if it vanished and was replaced by another item, or if it just turned into another item. But it is now a full-on long sword, it's a long sword with a gold hilt, lots of jewels, very impressive blade that is radiating its own like aura of light around her.
She has an
paladin. I'm gonna let you just know this, that you recognize when you see it. That is a holy Avenger. You didn't know this particular religion well enough to immediately be like, "Oh yeah, that's what theirs would look like." But when you see it and it's amped up, you're like, "I've heard of these."
She's got an Inuyasha sword.
Yeah, no one ever identified the crystal sword.
Well, I mean,
which I was really surprised by you guys.
Usagi Yojimbo is part of our party, so.
All right, so she holds forth this holy Avenger, and it is glowing a bright light across the area. She is illuminated by the light. There's a lot of like muttering and stammering and upset people that are up at the dais that are saying that this must be tested. They don't believe it, blah, blah, blah.
Hey,
And what
Keys.
Adele is. Yeah,
I am
you
just
being
busting
quiet?
a gut over this.
Oh, okay. I was like, is he being quiet or is he muted for some reason?
No. I'm just busting a gut over this.
Oh, okay, great.
I mean, although Dell's trying to be quiet while he is laughing, but
Is there
he's very much laughing about
Is-
this.
is there like I'm trying to figure out if there's something that I've heard already within the ceremony that would like I could start chanting to verify her claim, like being like, like something, like son
Based on
of
what
God
you've
or
heard,
something
I
like
would
that.
allow
You just
you either religion to like intelligence check to like parse out that and get it unless you can think of another skill you'd like to offer up.
Blood for the
I think
blood god.
religion is the one, but
Yeah.
yeah, I got a -1 to that. I probably have no idea.
You can give it a shot. I mean,
There,
I'm not against it.
What could possibly
14.
go wrong?
That's not the worst. Um,
Basically, I want to start like a movement within the people that the people are like on her side and try and create that. So,
all right, I will let you. I won't give you any bonus for that roll, but I will let you try a persuasion, try to get the crowd in on it.
all right. Do I still have Eagle Splendor up?
How long does that last? Is it
An hour.
I would say probably not,
Nah.
because it was a 6-hour break between.
Well, that's pretty good.
That is good. All right. Some of the people are not going to be into this. They're going to be upset that this person is doing it. Some of the people don't care and are kind of like going to start leaning your way, and you're like, oh, okay, finally we're getting into something. What are we chanting here? And they just start repeating it. And then some of the people that actually do like her will also pick up the chant. So you've got that going for you. You've got a smattering here and there, and it is spreading a little bit, which is kind of great. And then you will notice also, I didn't mention this earlier, but there is up on the dais, the man that was speaking, that she is directly challenging. Behind him, there is seated in a center chair a woman who is decked out in a lot of regalia. And at this point, she will finally stand and step forward. And she will announce to the entire assembly here. For anyone that's been paying any attention, there is a queen who is also the highest of high priestesses of this religion. And it seems very logical that this is probably her. I don't think any of you actually asked her name. So unless you make a religion or history check, I'm not going to say it at this point. But she goes and she announces that we must suspend the ceremony for a short time to verify this claim. And she seems extremely calm and collected, like nothing is bothering her, because being calm and collected in a social setting is something she's probably been trained to do for over the last several centuries. And so there's a commercial break in the church services, which is a little unusual. One of the other people is kind of pushed forward. He's like the guy who is like directing the singers, like the choir directors up there, like, and in Elven, just we should sing the hymn of. And he like pulls up a hymn, and he starts getting everybody to just try and start singing and like just pretend everything's fine. And it's just a hymn of thank you for the continued protections throughout this dusk, and a request for
great time
protection.
to break out into a version of God Save the Queen.
Well, that would be pretty funny, but no, we'll do the thing that I said.
Quickly, play us out. Dun, 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 dun.
All right. So unless y'all are doing anything else for the next like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'm amused as all get out with this, but I'm sure that they've got a little side table with some cookies or coffee or something similar. So I'm going to go check that out during the commercial break.
Sure. You know what? I am totally fine with that. There are the special refreshments that are purposely bland, because the idea is that you're not here for the joy of the refreshments. You're here for the joy and the splendor that is saloon, and you sacrifice flavor for saloon, and you eat these bland ass cookies that dry your mouth out and make you want to drink, and then you drink this champagne that is super dry, and you're like, it's like a repeating problem.
So they don't know how to use food as a retention item. Okay, I get it.
No. The food has transubstantiated into sand.
If it was on the moon, you would think it would transubstantiate into cheese. Hey, moon cheese is good.
After about 10 minutes, people start reassembling, and the queen, or at least the person that was probably the queen 10 minutes ago, steps forward and says, "I, Queen of the Lyrans, Flandre Alabaster, highest priestess of Lyra, and High Magistrate, I am conceding for the time being my throne and position to," and she looks down to Narifa Ashgard, who is standing, just off to her left, waiting. And at which point, as she says it, she will take a step to her right, allowing the middle area, which is slightly raised, so that Narifa can step up. And as she addresses the rest of the audience from this now slightly lowered step, that she has brought forth proof that is undeniable that she is in fact the last descendant of King Fincendorel Orthringon, and therefore by right it is her place to give the oath. And then she does. And the rest of this, while there's clearly a lot of confused faces, and there's a lot of like angry looks amongst some of the people that are up by the dais, the rest of this will proceed in a fairly boring church thing. While it's an amazing statement to have just been made, and there are people that are scurrying out to go spread the news. You see people running out to be like, "Holy crap, you guys! The queen just got the throne replaced by this other queen." Inside, the services go as they are supposed to. And at the conclusion of the big long speech that she gives and she being Narifa, not Flandre. Narifa is your friend. At the conclusion of her long speech, she says that she would like to begin her protection of Lyra with the implementation of a couple of new policies that she believes will bring the world forward in all this. First being that we will have better relations with those that come here and trade with us, that we will arrange for them a way to have passes to explore the rest of our place and allow all of our citizenry to meet them rather than only those within the walls of this city. And then she says that recently some off-worlders did a lot of things for her to help her and to help this whole world ensure that it was in line with Lyra's will. And therefore, they needed to be acknowledged as accepted as citizens here, which means that you haven't lost any citizenship anywhere else. But basically, the translation from the Elven is sort of you're honorary moon elves now. The six of you. Although the Harengon is named, the Harengon is not present to be pointed at.
Wow.
Or it is present and nobody can tell who the Harengon is.
I'm so honored to be a moon person.
You're now a moon person.
As long as I'm not a Mooney.
All right.
We are now Moonanites.
Those particular announcements clearly upset some of the older elves. You'd think they're older elves. They have a little bit of gray in their beard, but no wrinkles, because I don't know. Do they age for real? They live forever.
Those Moonanites are like, you cannot be a Moonanite. Moonanites are too awesome for you.
Moonanites, yes.
From the Aquatine Hunger Force.
But with that said, she has definitely kept her part of the bargain. You are now free to wander where you wish. Although there is a chance that there will now be people that are unhappy with the transition that might target you. There's only so much you can do.
I mean, I expect that all the time anyway, so.
All right. At the end of it, there are a lot of people that want to come up and meet you, and they introduce themselves, and you're like, I have no idea who you are or what you're talking about. And they're like, oh, and they like give you titles, and they're like, okay, you're the so and so. no idea what this means. And a lot of handshaking. A whole bunch of random elves in very elaborate robes. And there is some questions like, oh, who is this other one? Did y'all give her the name Eudora? I think you did,
Yeah, we did.
because that's not the name that's on the
Yep.
one of the posters. So yeah, there will be some questions. Oh, wait, which one's Eudora? You know, they're like, oh no, it's not here.
Oh,
dang.
she's around somewhere. She might still be out at the party.
Eudora
It
is in
was
our
mentioned that she's a
hearts.
Haragon, so there are people that are going to look around and bother every Haragon that's anywhere in the entire city. Oh, are you
Oh.
Eudora? No, Eudora's a girl's name.
Eudora is in our
Do I
hearts.
look like a girl? Until you spoke.
Just from behind, it was the hair, I promise.
You can't miss her. She's a warrior. She's a fighter.
Oh, great! Now, like big burly. What? No, I'm not Eudora.
Like this like big stocky rabbit with like
Missing
yeah.
one eye.
he's got a tattoo of a heart on his on his
Chunk
fur.
taken out of his ear.
I love it. I love the idea of this rabbit guy.
Yeah. This total barbarian.
Now I do
Really,
need to
that's
make a
Eudora.
barbarian Herringon.
All right.
Oh geez, that's gonna be great. Yeah. Why didn't I
Would he
think of
be
that
a
earlier?
barbarian?
Huh?
Would he be a barbarian?
Oh.
I like it. I like it. Have you ever seen?
All right. So her promises were made and kept. Is there after everything is settled, she will eventually stop by and like try and find you guys.
Yeah, I want to
thank
congratulate her
you
anyways.
again.
I wanted to like go up
Mhm.
there and give her the, you know, the firm handshake of congratulations and a hug of like that was great, you did well, you know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a motion to do more than a handshake, there are people that immediately start to crowd in.
Oh.
Right. Oh, I'm too
yeah,
friendly. I know I'm too friendly. I'm sorry. Personal
But yeah,
space.
you get also, while you do see amongst her new larger like, you know, entourage that one or two faces you kind of recognize from before, there are many more guards, and their armor looks pretty impressive. Like these are the Queen's Guard now.
Hey, could you tell them we're friends? We're friends of the church. We're not gonna do anything. I understand there's propriety. Maybe I can do this.
Like, we have no motivation to do
She's
anything.
like, perhaps just a handshake.
Yes. Congratulations. That was wonderful. You did great. I'm glad I was there to see it. It was amazing.
Right.
Congratulations, Majesty.
And as y'all are up there next to her, you'll notice that she does have on her person the crystal sword.
She's gonna need to.
Oh yeah.
For the next while, she's gonna need to carry that everywhere.
Yeah.
Just as proof.
Look, amazing powers were given to her when she held her sword aloft.
By the power of Grayskull.
Now that was He-Man. What was She-Ra's cry? It was very similar.
For the honor of
Grace.
Grace.
Yeah, for the honor of
That's
Grace.
what it was.
Yeah. Which is weird because she says that in the Netflix version of the show, but there's no
Yeah.
Grayskull in that at all. There's no.
But even in the original, the only time that Grayskull showed up in her show was during that during her
Yeah, and her
transformations.
during her transfer, it was in the circle behind her.
Yeah.
Yep. But
Yeah.
her first episode showed the link between He-Man and She-Ra and why Grayskull was important. So it did show up in the very first episodes. But in the Netflix series, we don't even like He-Man and Eternia. That's like
Was it in the first episode of her show, or was it just the movie?
I guess it's the hero He-Man
She-Ra
She-Ra movie, or wasn't that the first episode? I don't know.
If that's
They-
the case,
they liked-
the first episode was very long.
They liked taking those. If they made like a movie, they liked chopping those up and making them into.
yeah,
like
they
half
did.
an hour
They did that
episodes.
with Transformers, the movie, the old 1980s
Mhm.
one. And they changed the ending a little bit to be a little bit more like, or was it the beginning that had the Star Wars scroll? After they changed it up.
something. Whew. That's a version of that of the Transformers movie that's probably hard to get.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, because you can buy the real movie, and then if you buy the show by seasons, it was included as one of the seasons. It was
Really?
chopped up and put into a season.
Wow.
Season 3? It was 2 seasons, and then the movie, and then
It's
I
kind of
think
like
just
when you watch
one or
Future-
2 more seasons.
It's kind of like when you watch Futurama as a streaming show on Hulu. The 4 movies are chopped up into episodes.
Do they have 4 movies?
Wow.
Yeah, 4. And what's weird though is if you buy like the DVD set, it doesn't come with those movies, and you have to buy the movie separate. But you get all the episodes except for those. They don't make them into episodes. It's
Monsters.
my wife loves Futurama, and I was getting that for her for Christmas, and I had to figure out how to get the entire series, you know. But now they're making
Didn't they
new
break up
episodes again.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm into the animated series too?
No, that stayed as a movie the whole time.
Yeah, they
Did it?
never turned
Oh,
that into
okay.
Yep.
episodes. Or
I know they
mystery-
broke up the Batman Superman movie into the animated series. I just don't
They
remember if
did.
it was the Batman version or the Superman.
They did
version.
make the Batman Superman one into episodes, but they never did it to Phantasm, Batwoman, Mystery of the Batwoman, or Sub-Zero, which were the 3 Batman movies.
But they did do it to Return of the Joker.
Did they?
Yeah, they put that in the Batman Beyond, didn't they?
It was never chopped up into episodes, I don't think. It was just the last thing they'd ever did for Batman Beyond. Minus
nostalgia.
the Justice League episode.
All right, so getting back to not talking about movies. I'm sure part of it was my fault, so I'm not too mad. All right, so what were we doing? That's right, you were talking to the girl. The girl's like, thanks. You shook her hand. Is there anything else you want to say to her?
Guys,
like,
now's
"Peace,
the
bitches."
chance.
Thank you.
Get off my plane. No. Doesn't make any sense here.
I mean, if you keep me talking to her, I'm going to be like, that was really great. Come party with us. We got some drinks and I got a whip and I'm going to use it. You can see me use my whip.
We'll drag Beetlejuice off and we'll go back to partying. I think.
Yeah.
There was a girl that you were talking to that was very interested to see what you could do with your whip.
And she even saw your whip.
You're welcome.
Tinker the matchmaker. Actually, you might notice if anyone is paying any particular attention, one of the trusted guards of Narifa, there it is. Narifa
Narifa.
is actually keeping an eye on you guys from a distance at this point to make sure you don't embarrass her on her first day of being queen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's definitely
If-
the pantsing is definitely now to a minimum, I swear.
If we want to keep our relationship with her as it is, we might want to leave now. At least back to the party.
Yeah,
We
she'll-
can't be trusted. We should go.
we know ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Beetlejuice really needs a magical item that will help his charisma in the future.
A ring of eagle splendor.
Yeah, a cap
Can it stack?
of
Cast Eagle Splendor on his
likableness.
Eagle Splendor?
The like
An earring of
do they
presents.
in 5e do they still have like those books that you can study and increase a stat?
I think
Yeah, you do it, and I think when you read from the book, it takes like 100 years or something for it to like re-energize for someone else to read it and make use of it.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you were
but it
thinking of
takes you
Elder
a
Scroll.
month to go through the book and to put into practice all the things and get the
Yeah.
stat boost. Yeah.
I thought you were thinking of Elder Scrolls, where you pick up a book and suddenly you can swashbuckle better.
No, earlier editions, in fact, in first and second edition, that was the only way you could increase your stats, actually. But
Really, they had the girdle of giant strength back then. You could increase your strength using that.
But
That
you
doesn't
permanent.
could, but
permanently
it
increase
went
your-
away
Oh,
when you took the
permanent
belt
permanent
off. Yeah.
increases. Yeah, no.
Yeah, permanent increases.
Yeah, there was either special effects that would happen in an adventure, or I guess those books. But I've
Yeah.
seen things happen like in adventure, like, oh, you sit down to a magical meal. Do you eat the soup? Well, the soup gives you +1 intelligence. Do you eat the roast? Well, the roast makes you save versus death, and then you die.
I was actually playing in a game not too long ago, and there was a zombified chef in the kitchen cooking when we got there. We were a little freaked out. We didn't know what was going to happen, and we get in there, and of course he attacks us. We fight him, and we finally win. And we end up finding out that the pot that he was cooking, he was putting like corpses in there.
Of course.
It's radiating magic. So I detect I did identify on it, and whatever he was doing, it changed the contents of the pot into a potion of healing or rejuvenation. It not only did it heal you completely, it gave you a full night's sleep from drinking this potion. I'm like, but it's made of corpses.
There's ethical concerns here that I mean, I need it, but I also just against my alignment.
And then there's this additional question. Who was he cooking this for? Why am I the only one in the group that was concerned about that?
The zombie's like, "Can't. This is how zombies don't sleep." He just gives it to his zombie friends.
Tastes like brains.
Brain soup, my favorite.
All right, so y'all get back to the docks. You'll when you get back to the docks, the guy that's been kind of like following you from distance, up to you if you notice him or not, will come up and approach you all and say, Her Highness has arranged transportation if you are ready to leave.
Oh, our coach of whites.
Yes, it does
Unless you
sound
wanted to
like
wait
it, doesn't
for Johnny Load something?
Oh, Johnny Lone Star.
Lodestar.
Yeah, we probably should.
Oh, is he coming? Is he coming to come see us?
The original arrangement was that he was going to come back and check on you after a while, but you don't have to wait for him. You now have a ride, and if he shows up, they'll just send him back.
He's gonna waste his gas.
Whatever. I'm sure they'll pay him. She's
You
the
know
queen
what?
now.
You know what? We can party for a little bit longer if we wait for Johnny.
Yeah, sure. I like pardoning. Let's do it. I'll get another drink
Okay.
in.
All right, let's continue to enjoy some of the festival.
We'll wait for Johnny.
All right. Y'all go back and start enjoying the festival.
Yeah.
It is wrapping up, as I said. The final ceremony has occurred. At this point, you're in the last hours of a multi-day long festival or 2-week long festival. So a lot of the places are starting to pack up, but there are still people that are like trying to sell their merchandise real quick before they close, before the festival
is when you
ends and
get
they
it
go
cheapest.
into like the months of night that's about to happen.
I'm probably gone because I was with a lady, and I'm probably there. And then after
Okay.
that's done, I'll come back.
Did he find her again?
Tell you what, how about just you give me one little seduction roll, you whatever you'd like to use
Oh,
to
okay.
get with her. That'll determine it, and we can fade to black on that because
I
I like
didn't know
Tori,
I
but
needed
not
a
that way.
seduction roll. I was like, either it happens or not. But We'll make a persuasion.
Sure.
Animal
hey, baby,
handling.
You know you want it. Huh? Huh?
Sure, persuasion. Sounds good to me.
I'm
You
an
already got a
exotic elf.
preview.
I mean, I'm not good at this. She passes.
It's because he said it like this. You know you want it.
Every new roll I have to make is another chance for me to just fail this.
It's great.
I mean, that is kind of how the game works. Like you roll to try to do stuff.
I guess.
I feel like you want to argue that.
I do, but we're gonna just move on from that right now. I have an aversion to rolling many times to do like the same kind of a thing, but it's fine.
I think that requiring at least 2 rolls to get a woman to go to bed for the night is not that much
fine.
to ask for.
That's fine. Move on.
I think with a roll like that, only one roll was needed.
But yeah.
Yeah, there's no coming back.
There's
from
no
that.
there's no downside.
really
There's really no
isn't.
downside to this. I mean, I'm not like out weird treasures or anything like that from all of it. But like when
Actually, you don't have to make the saving though for what you were going to catch, so you're all good.
when a game like tells you to make 3 stealth checks in a row, it's like, oh, you just want me to fail this is what you want. You know, like
I guess.
well, first there's guards at the gate, so you have to roll stealth for that. And then there's guards at the door, so you have to roll stealth for that. And then there's you just want me to fail the roll eventually. I'm rolling until I fail. Cuz at any one point, like, I have to make all of those rolls. But if I fail only one, I'm fucked. And that's the problem with those kinds of things.
On the other hand, that's life.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to make a comeback with a different skill, tell me what you want to do to try and
No.
persuasion.
This in the law, it doesn't matter, and I'm not trying to argue with you or anything. I'm just saying this is how I feel about gaming.
Duly
Okay.
noted. Moving on.
All right. So, despite that not working out as you'd hoped, yeah, like I say, you see some people that are closing up their shops. There's some merchants trying to get rid of their wares as quick as possible so they can close for the winter of night. Beyond that, like I say, the closing ceremony has already happened. There's not a whole lot left. So what are you looking to do while you are still here?
Those half orcs aren't around anymore, are they?
Perception.
All right.
See if you can spot them. Not that I'm trying to make you fail. All right. Yeah, you spot them. They're over by the docks. There's a big ship. It looks kind of like the kind of galleons you normally see actually coming from the more human populated worlds, which makes sense since the guy who kind of went and was their handler was human. So that's not too shocking. They're kind of kicking rocks into the water and looking ticked off.
So they're not working right now. They're just kind of there.
They're just standing around bullshitting.
Is there somewhere nearby I can grab like a few flagons of ale?
Yes, there is.
I'm gonna grab a few flagons of ale. Gonna bring them down to these fellas.
Okay.
And I'm gonna.
They look at you as you're approaching with the ale, and then they are curious. All right.
I give them each one of these flagons of dwarven ale, the good stuff, and then I'm gonna challenge them to a game of Mumbly Peg.
You're gonna have to tell me what that is exactly.
So you know where you put your hand down on the table and you tap the dagger in between the fingers real fast?
Okay, I've seen that.
That's Mumbly Peg.
Mumbly Pig. I've never heard the name of that.
All right.
That's a wonderful name, and great if you say it in a like a Cockney accent. Oh, we're gonna do some mumble pig.
Yeah.
All right.
Is
You know what?
insulting,
That
isn't it?
based on their disposition, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't be happy to drink, and they're not going to let some elf show them up.
Right. And I know that they're already probably pretty soused.
They are. All right. I'm going to say, unless you have a special skill you'd like to use, this is going to be straight dex.
Works for me.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, look at you. Well, all right then. You're doing better than Hans and Franz here. I'm going to give them identical sheets. All right. He didn't stab himself. He did. Oh, poor Franz. All right. So
We're not doing this for bets or nothing. I just wanted to do this for kicks and giggles.
Well, it worked. Like the first round goes pretty well. Franz comes pretty close to his figure. That the second round,
Yeah, it's when it starts
Franz is
speeding
slowing
up.
down, being more
Yeah.
deliberate, and Franz just plants that knife deep into his own pinky and just howls.
Meanwhile, I'm going
Your
tap,
knife
tap,
or
tap,
his
tap,
knife?
tap, 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 tap.
Is it your knife or his knife?
It's mine.
Okay.
I got
In
that
anger,
nice.
he's going to
nice
attempt to
dagger.
put that knife in you. Because you just pissed off a half orc who has now taken 1d4 plus 1 damage. Oh, wait, no, it's the damage is based off his strength. So that'd be 1d4 plus 3 damage.
I told you this was a bad idea.
Oh, he rolled pretty well. The tip is gone. He's lost his tip. And now he's going to roll to hit you. All right, does a 14 hit you?
It does.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
But before he stabs at me, I'm going to point out that I'm the one that bought him the beer.
All right, I'll let you try and make a persuasion check to not be stabbed. Persuade harder than a
That's not-
14
that
than his
was
ability
per
to hit.
Performance.
Oh, okay.
I hit the wrong thing.
All right.
I hit performance by accident, so
I see.
on an actual persuasion, it's higher.
Well, all right then. You he's like
And
is
they
almost
know
put
the
it in
risks
you,
with Mumbly Peg. They know the game.
and the other one like puts his hand on. He's like, no. He looks over and you can see the coxswain coming down the ramp, and he's like, "Arr." He says something in orc that's very derivative of elves.
I speak orc.
Oh, well, he basically called you a dainty, useless, piece of shit. You get the idea.
I tell him to stop filing his tusks in orcish.
Oh.
Now
Now the other orc is like gone into full restraint mode.
now you are gonna get punched.
And I
Yeah.
take my dagger and I leave.
Well, hang on.
If
He's gonna
they
see if he
can't
can
be
break.
decent
If he can
sports
break the
about
restraint,
this-
he's gonna attack you.
Hey? Say again?
He's the other one needs to roll 2 restrain. If the other one rolls higher than 19, he restrained. As a 12. No, he broke the restraint. He's gonna try and attack you again. I feel like you kind of need it. Does an 18 hit you? All right. Well, 14 did, so. He's still armed with the dagger. Take 6.
Can I be his wingman and use a reaction here?
All right. I'll let you have walked up at this point.
Because I don't want him to wander off alone. And that's enough.
Interception.
So I can reduce that by 8.
You
Now.
Okay.
I can reduce, so I can just block it with the sword. I imagine walking up. Now. Fair is fair. Competition is key. Can't be a sore loser, getting a free beer and all.
All right. The orc looks enraged, like he wants to keep fighting. The other one is trying to restrain him, but at this point, it's too late because the other fellow has walked up and has pretty much is just going to grab him by the ear and be like, it's enough of this. I'm not getting locked up in an elven port.
Let me see your hands.
Yeah. I out of character was like, what? I like smack him on the hand or something.
Yeah. Well, I'll give him like a point of healing on a lay of hands.
Okay.
Try to heal up his hands. And then I'll
Close
smack him
door.
across the face and tell him to get out of here. In a very stoic Gith Yankee
All right.
bellowing
Well, with a
kind of
point
way.
of healing, the blood like stops flowing, but the tip is still gone. All right. Does anybody else want to do anything here while you are hanging out in this elven port?
Tink, it's your
At
turn
some
for
point-
mischief.
A Heron just kind of like walks over and just standing near you guys and not saying much. Just watching.
I'm sure Bunny gets a laugh out of this too.
Tink, it's your turn for mischief. Brenna.
Sorry.
Are you going to cause some chaos and mischief too?
No, she's probably falling asleep at this point because she already got that out of her system earlier.
Should eat and drink all the things.
Yeah.
All right.
I kind of fell
Um,
down a rabbit hole because I wasn't up on the OGL thing, and so I felt like I had to catch up on
Oh.
it, and then I fell down a rabbit hole. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
It just train wreck.
It's really not
the
going to
whole
affect
thing
us
has
any.
been. The whole thing
Oh yeah,
has
no,
been.
it was. Yeah.
We're not making $750,000 off of this stream or anything else that we do related to D&D. We're kind of
Yeah.
fine because we're
Yeah.
poor. But if this went viral and Corey's channel became like stupid famous, it would matter.
I would change things. Things would rapidly.
There'd be signs.
There'd be big changes around here if I started making that amount of money.
One of those memes, I wouldn't say anything, but you'd know.
As we all just really enjoy our Pathfinder games.
Yes.
Or D6 system has an OGL. All right. So after a few hours, Johnny does show up. It is considerably late, considering that clearly everything was closed and there was he just wasn't overly concerned. You don't care. It's not like you're going anywhere. He's the ride.
Yep.
So hey guys, good to see you. Everybody's here. It looks like you got the thing to the girl. So
The thing to the world.
did she pay out?
Yeah.
Great. And he has his hand out. My percentage. Remember? That was the deal.
It was what? 5%?
10%.
I believe it was 7.
You trying for persuasion?
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hey, Kios has a great persuasion. What gives?
He has the whole time. He's just been
He's
stoic.
a charisma caster, dude.
Yeah.
I'm assuming off of his intimidation. He looks up and down at Kios and goes, "Fine."
Fine.
I
So 7 times 5 is 35 gold from 500.
All right. 35 gold it is.
give Kios a high five when Johnny doesn't see.
I strive to be known by my glorious deeds, not my words, but it feels good.
That was a glorious deed.
All in
I'm
all,
like screwing over the guy that got you the job. Glorious.
Well, we don't need them
Like, there's
anymore.
nothing truly glorious about this party.
We got the
You
queen.
found an evil creature that was in charge of these bullywugs, and you made a deal with him and ran away. Then you see like this tree, and there's presents under it. Clearly, the Christmas episode, and you made signs to avoid it and make sure other people avoided it. Like, what? What are you doing? Then you get back to the woman that hired you for a job, and you immediately go, "You could probably pay us better than you offered, even though we accepted it at the other price." This is not a glorious party.
We're pirates. What else do you want?
Kios.
We're a Tarantino World War II flick.
Kios is the hero we deserve.
Oh man, what did we do to deserve that?
The probably something really great because he's killing it.
Must have wished upon a something.
I'm a star.
Yeah, we got a star druid.
Oh,
Actually, he is the gas passed from a star. He's a star wind.
oh, we always knew he was full of hot air.
All right. Y'all load up, and he has basically, it's, if you'll remember, he had like a little boat that ferries you. It's a slow, like couple-hour journey sitting in this little boat till it gets back to the big Toro spaceport.
Does it go?
No, there's a guy who has to do the thing. He's got an oar in space because space magic.
Yep. He's rowing.
And if I remember right, the actual dude doing the oars was like a total incel and kind of creepy.
Yeah.
What?
I totally forgot that until just now, and I'm like, oh yeah.
What?
And I think Kehoe scared him too.
Are you guys?
Oh, that's right, because he was being kind of gross with Tinker. Gios was like, and wasn't having it.
Are you guys? Are you
My
guys?
hero.
Are you guys Futurama fans?
Very much.
Somewhat. It's
Do
been a long
you
time.
remember? Do you remember Fry's? What's it called? The little thing he rode into the Death Star.
Oh, the
Scooty
little
Puff
scoot,
Junior.
whatever.
The Cutie Puff Junior.
It's like
I
basically
do remember that.
that toy when you're a kid that you push it and it's like a dome and it's got all the little bubbles or balls that pop
Yeah,
up in it.
He has
Oh,
to
yeah,
pedal it.
Pop it or
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. He takes you back to the dock, and you see that your ship is docked. Your new ship. It currently has a big like canvas over it, and there's still scaffolding around it. Like it is not quite done yet, but you do see a whole ship there. So it looks like something's sitting there in the dock, in the space you're paying for.
Excellent.
Is it in the dock where we pay?
And you are back on the Rock of Brawl.
Excellent. Let's check out our upgrades and make sure that they're
Yeah,
installed
Sano
properly.
is still there, as well as our auto gnomes, and
Well, they're not on the outside. Like you don't immediately see them.
no, but-
So if they're in it, they're under the canvas. And as you approach, who is our most perceptive? I want to say it was Starwind, but I'm not sure.
It was Adora.
Starwind and Beetlejuice are have the same.
Not anymore. I have a perception of +5 now. 15.
So do I.
Oh, we both increase.
Well, then y'all can pick a leader and roll with advantage if you're both paying attention to shite, or
Yeah.
you can roll separately.
I was paying attention. You were paying attention.
I will give help action to Dell, and you can make the roll.
With advantage.
That's correct. I mean, it comes out the same.
I
If we
will
both roll a
proceed.
die, or you roll 2 dice and take the biggest, it comes out.
Yeah,
to
but
the
Corey doesn't want the dice karma because he doesn't like to roll dice.
same.
There it is.
See, look at that.
All right. So, as y'all are making your way up, you do notice there's another ship parked not far from yours. Dell actually and Kios would both take special note of this. That it's called a nautiloid, which is like a big snail shell shaped ship.
Yeah, we've seen one of those before. We didn't like it.
Yeah, Kios especially because racial enmity towards the people that normally are in the nautiloids. Um, so that is something that you can all see. Definitely Kios knows what it is. Definitely Dell does. Probably Beetlejuice knows. It's up to you, Tinker. I don't know what your knowledge of different alien ships is.
Uh, that's a very good question.
I will say the Harangon forgot what nautiloids are because she has amnesia. She's like, oh, yep, that's a Kirby ship. Very
spirally.
wow. How'd they design it with a Fibonacci sequence? That's really impressive.
Tinker would, if I don't know if she would know anything about. She would know about the ship, not about the people. She wouldn't care about them.
All right. Well, you've seen these weird snail shell ships before, but the fact that the one's parked next to you doesn't seem all that ominous. For Kios and Dell, it's a little problematic. I don't know how Beetlejuice's opinion is on them. However, what Dell and Beetlejuice notice that the others don't is there are a couple of people like that you notice being stealthy, but with a 21, you're able to pick up that there are hooded figures just kind of patrolling the area. Mm-hmm. And they seem to maybe be patrolling a little closer around your ship in particular.
Uh-oh.
I don't like that.
We got problems. I think we need to get out of here before I think we attracted the wrong kind of attention.
I think you might be right. There was an inn nearby that we had set up Sano at anyway, wasn't there? Because he wasn't able to stay on board while they were doing the work.
Okay. You know what? Honestly, I don't remember that offhand, but I'm willing to say that totally happened. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's been a while.
So let's go there and find him and see what he knows.
Yeah, I kind of forgot he existed. It's been a while.
Oh, I have his name right here. Sano from the Treasure Fleet soldier. Yep. That's all. That's the complete note for him right now. Like, I remember his backstory as to where you found him.
Now, I'm pretty sure that we'd set him up with a place to stay because he wasn't going to be able to stay on the ship during the work. So,
okay, that makes sense. I'm down with that. So, sure, you can go to nearby inn, check it out. Yeah. I'm assuming it was not Luigi's.
No, it wasn't Luigi's.
And if you don't remember, Luigi was the beholder that ran a big tavern. It's where you actually met Johnny Lodestar.
Yeah. No, it's forget what the name of the place was, but we'll go there anyway, and we'll see if he's there.
Okay. He'll be. Well, it's late now. He'll probably be asleep.
Oh, is it that late?
Well, it was 6 p.m. back on the moon when the stuff ended and her thing started. And then you went through all that, and I'm going to say that was probably a couple hours. Then you didn't leave on the first ship. You left on a couple hours later on Johnny's ship.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean, though, it's the same equivalent time on when now we get into the rock.
No, so that's a good point. Tell you what, odd or even, Corey?
I'm always odd. Never
all
fails.
Right. It's odd. You what?
Never fails.
All right, so you got a little time. He might be awake. You go check on him.
Yeah, like I said, go in and check and see if he's there. See if we can get him to kind of bring us up to speed on what the last couple of weeks have been like.
All right. He's happy to see you guys alive. It's been a while. He's been kind of chilling.
Put on a
it's
bit of
good to
weight,
see you. I've been working actually. I got a job, basically helping at the man named Luigi, or I shouldn't say man, it's Beholder, believe it or not. And he tells you all this whole story about the Beholder that runs in here, and that he's been working there, kind of like doing a bouncing thing, um, because it's easier for human people there working there to get people out before the Beholder has to go full scary.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the job.
But I wasn't planning on leaving you guys or anything. I just, wasn't sure if you were going to make it back after a while.
It's something to do.
Well, you
So
can
what's been
continue
happening
working
down
for.
on the ship? How's that been going?
I mean, I see the construction. Like during the day, I'll go by and I look, and they've done a lot of work. So I imagine it'll be done soon. I didn't actually tell them that I was part of that ship because I wasn't real sure what we were keeping secret and what we were telling people. So I don't know if they thought that I was like some dude spying on the ship. So I was trying to be like subtle. So, but yeah, it looks like they're almost done. Probably, I'd imagine.
Well,
Those
now we
dwarves
got
are-
people. We
I
got
look
people.
like pretty
noticed
spying on
hardworking
the ship.
guys.
We got
I
people.
noticed some illithids sniffing around there.
Yeah, they're spying on the ship.
Oh,
Wait,
I
you
did
saw
see an
what?
alloy like parked there. I didn't know they were spying. I didn't notice that part.
How long?
3 or 4 days that thing's been parked right next to us.
Oh,
I'm gonna say 4.
guys, we got to check on the portal.
Yeah. Well, we'd crated up the portal and we had it in storage, I believe. We didn't leave it on the ship during the work.
Right.
But we should talk to the people that were doing the work there.
I think me and Kios need to confront one of the people spying on our ship. I think.
Oh. What could possibly go
Are
wrong?
you sure you want Keyhost being part of that?
Oh, 100%, yes.
Because that'll get bloody fast.
My own fault. I didn't turn to the side. I didn't even see that it was there. Had I known, that's why it dragged me away so quickly. They're vile scum. They need to be eradicated.
You're like frothing at the mouth like a small terrier.
Kios, I don't think we should, like, there are rules in the city and such, but you can tell them off. And maybe they'll try and attack you, and then you'll be justified in attacking them back. How's that sound?
Oh my god.
If them's the rules, that's the plan.
The plan is to shake them up and see what the little ants going around do.
And keep our brains.
Oh yeah, we gotta keep our brains. That's those are important.
I'm rather attached to my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, from what I know of the Rock of Brawl, that is the rule that no open hostility.
But from what I understand, there are some people sneaking around too, spying on our
Yeah.
ship. And I don't know, were they all illithids or are they like people
They
That-
were
that are
Hooded.
thralls? I assume that
hooded
they're.
fellows. They were all dungeon masters.
But yeah, but there weren't like tentacles hanging down from the hoods.
You did not get up and look under their hoods. To
Well,
see if they had
we should
tentacles
go.
up in there.
We should go assault.
They had them balled up in weird like chin fists. So
We should
you don't
go-
know.
Squid faces.
We should go
Yeah.
accost one of these hooded people spying on our ship. They might be illithids. They might be thralls. Their heads might split open and little brain dogs jump out. You never know.
Tell you what, while you check with them, I'm going to go and talk to the Iron Bangers, the dwarves that were working on the ships, and let them know that we're back.
And
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 see if
Tink
they
needs to
know
check
anything.
under the hood, make sure everything's copacetic.
I'm on it.
Okay.
And then we should all come back together and then check on the portal together, because I think that they're probably looking for that. And if we go there, if it's just one of us and they're following us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just one of us. So we should all go together. Because if they jump us while we're transporting it back to the ship, that could be a problem.
Right. Like I said, yes, we'll all go to the portal together. But you should check on with see who it is that's spying on our space, and I'm gonna go talk to the dwarves that were doing the actual repairs and see how that's coming and see if they know anything about it, and we'll split up that way, and then after we've done those two things, we'll go check the portal.
You and Tink and me and Kios. We got it. Break.
Right.
Oh, what's the guy's name again?
Seno.
Seno. Yeah, I was thinking Sebastian. I don't know. Seno, are you taking the job with the Beholder? Or are you gonna come back and be a crewmate of the ship? I mean, it's up to you, mate.
I'm happy working on the ship, but I just needed to do something while I was here because I didn't know how long I was going to be here. So yeah, I'm coming back.
All right, excellent.
Didn't want to make any assumptions there, bro.
Yeah, we're not gonna shove off without you then.
All right.
Tinker's
And,
also like.
Also, since you're there talking to him, I'll point out that he looks a lot healthier.
I was just about to say.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Tinker is like, you look great. You remind me a little bit of these toys that I came across once that were like little tiny sponges, and then you put them in water, and then they go poof.
He just kind of stares, having no idea what a sponge toy is. But Howard knows what you're talking about.
I mean, she describes it, of course.
I'm pretty sure mine were dinosaurs.
She describes it, of course, but it's probably more confusing the way she describes it.
That sounds right.
Okay.
So let's see. Where should we start with? Tinker, you want to sneak into the ship and go and see what's going on under the canvas?
Does she need to be sneaky?
There are people walking around the area that are spying on your ship. So if you want them to see you go in, then you don't need to.
She's kind of like, eh. She's like, hell. She feels weird sneaking onto her own damn ship.
Okay, so you're just gonna walk in there?
No, she's gonna be sneaky.
All right.
She's like, it's my own damn ship, damn it.
And yet, quite sneaky. Well done.
It helps when you're only like this tall.
All right, so you guys kind of flit down there, look around, you just kind of up the side of the ship, kind of work your way under the canvas and get in. You don't believe you were observed.
She does the whole do shoo.
All right. Yeah, so they had to gut and replace a lot for this ship because of the way it was set up. Remember, you had rigged together a small Spelljammer helm that wasn't big enough to pilot the whole ship or to pull the whole ship, but you had it attached to a forge jammer, but it was running through, running cables from one end of the ship to the other to make the two work together. So to undo all that and just put in a big Spelljammer setup was a lot of restoring basically after they gutted your ship because they needed to take out the forge and the small set and then put in the large set. However, you now sit on the bridge, put on the helm, and you think you could probably do this, make this thing fly.
Is it like
you're not just going to take off all by yourself and see what goes on? But
is it like huge on her?
Technically they're magic items, but I don't think that you're supposed to not dedicate yourself. What's the word? Attune. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to attune to it. I think anybody's supposed to be able to use it. So yeah, it's loose on you.
It's probably like,
but
more
you
like
could
a skull
probably
captain.
Adjust a strap so it'll be a big bowl, but it'll be centered on your head.
The Spelljammer helm is something that you attune, but you can shift the attunement quickly to a willing person.
You shift it quickly.
So like I can transfer my attunement to Tinker.
Oh, okay.
But if nobody's sitting attuned to it, then you have to attune normally for the full duration. It's just that way it allows you to like you don't have to sit for an hour idle in space while the next person takes over the helm. Right?
That's why I assumed you
It's that way
didn't
you can go
attune
take a
to it
break.
because that hour break.
Um,
But all right.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, if you attune to it, it'll fit your head.
Oh yeah, she's gonna attune to it.
Okay. So you spend an hour attuning to it because it's not been previously attuned and there's no one passing it to you. At which point, yeah, you can feel the energies throughout the ship, and you get the feel like you probably could start this thing moving. I'm assuming you're not going to take off, but if you'd like to, I don't know, you're Tinker.
Maybe just warm up the engines a little, just to see how she purrs. No, I shouldn't.
Are you throwing spell slots into it or not? You going to do it?
What time is it here, anyways, on the rock? I forgot what we determined.
We said it was evening, but not terribly late, so we'll say 8ish now.
Yeah,
well, 9ish.
no.
You sat there for an hour.
She's not gonna try and see how she purrs.
All right.
She's gonna behave. She's not
The
gonna
next
be
thing I would
happy
be
about
saying
it.
is right as soon as you start to move it, and it's still tied to the dock.
You know, I might have done that when I worked at a marina once. It was
Is
a
Tinker
wave
just
runner.
your inner Brenna?
It was a wave runner, and the rope didn't win. Neither did the wave runner when it ran into the dock.
So Tinker really is small flying Brenna, but we're learning.
Well, I knew that.
Well, you've known her
Shush
longer.
you.
It's okay. Dell is a little too much Keith as it is.
All right. And what was Dell doing again?
I wanted to go see the dwarves, the Iron Bangers, I think their name was.
I think Ironbanger was the name of a specific dwarf. They were actually a guild from Ravnica that Tinker's a part of.
I thought that specific dwarf and like his sibling or something like that were the.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna go see them.
Okay.
And yeah, see, talk to them about where we're at with the repairs, the rebuild, whatnot. See if they know anything about why there would be this ship full of illithids sniffing around. Maybe they think they can buy it or something like that, you know? And we don't want that.
So your contact's name was Garrulous Ironbanger of the Is It League.
Yes.
I do have notes. Sometimes I can find things.
That's
Control
right,
F
because
works.
that was how I knew him, was through my contacts.
Yeah.
All right. So Garrulous, big rotund, fun dwarf.
Well,
Was,
with a name like Garrulous.
So he's like, all right, so it's just about ready. I think we're just like finishing up some of the fine work, you know, making sure that, you know, there's floors are steady. We had to replace floors in where your forge was. So there was a lot of work to be done, but
that was
looking pretty good now.
So I noticed a Nautilus sitting, or a Nautiloid sitting parked right up next to us. Told it's been there for the last couple of days. Some of the illithids from it look like they're sniffing around pretty closely. Do you know anything about that?
I know what a lithid is. Don't like them. Don't know how to work on a shell, to be honest. Haven't been asked to. I can ask the men if they've asked about you, but I haven't had any direct dealing with them.
Are they thinking they maybe like can buy the ship or something? Because that is not on.
We've got no offers.
Okay, so there hasn't been any. They haven't talked to you or anything about it. You or any of your work crews.
I'll double check. I mean, if they're not doing anything too suspicious, the crew might not have mentioned it, but I can double check with them. Give me a moment. I can send a runner out and find out. You want a drink?
No, I'm good.
You're a loss. He refills his tankard and here he goes and he talks to someone. You can hear Dwarven on the other side of the door. And I don't think you speak Dwarven.
I do not speak Dwarven,
Okay.
sadly.
You'll pick up the word Nautilus and Illithid in there just because they're not dwarf
Yeah.
words.
They're borrowed.
So beyond that, though, you don't really understand the rest of it. And then he comes back in. All right. I send someone out to the barracks. They'll check and ask around. Give them about, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And if he finds anything, bring the worker back to talk to us about it.
All right.
So in the
Maybe I
dwarf
will take you
language,
up on some of that drink.
Now we're talking. He pulls it forth another tankard and loads it up with some dwarven ale.
in,
Excellent.
in
Oh,
the-
this is the good stuff.
I got a
Watch,
question.
he's an Illithid mole, and so he's really poisoning Belle.
I have
The beard is just actually taped over the tentacles.
I have a question.
So
Is the dwarven language such that like outside words kind of seamlessly come into it, or is it like when you're watching Spanish television and suddenly they say an English word and it's so like out of place?
Like Whiplash.
Yeah.
I'll say that there's a mix of those because that's actually true in Spanish. There's a mix of those. Like the word for computer in Spanish is la computadora, which sounds Spanish, but you're like, no, wait a minute. I know what that word is.
Or when you're watching something in Japanese and they use English borrowed words and it really stands out.
No, it depends. It depends on what the word is and how
Yeah.
cuz like it's when they try and speak English, it's so weird when they're doing their I'm speaking an English sentence, but then when they use an English word in like their complete sentence, it kind of just melds in and doesn't and you don't notice it.
Mm.
So,
Well, I'm going to say that's probably a mix because there's so many different varieties of dwarves, and yet they all speak the same language. They must be a highly adaptable language.
Yeah.
sure.
That sounds logical to me. I mean, as far as I know, there's only one language for dwarf, but there's two for elf because drow's a thing.
Mm.
Well, there's probably
We'll go with
different
that.
dialects, just like, regional dialects for English. I mean, like linguistically
expect so.
speaking, it makes the most sense.
But
Or
then there's
I would say we could just base them on real world languages, but if you're like, okay, all
That's
elves
a
are
great
French.
way to get ourselves in trouble.
That's
Uh,
exactly. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna be like, "How dare you say all orcs are German?" I don't know. I don't think Germans are large green people with tusks. But,
then there's always those people that's when they speak regular they'll speak their language, but then when they take a foreign word that's been put in their language, they'll try and speak it as much like that language as possible. I'm one of those people. Like if I hear the correct way to say that word, I will do that in my English. I'll be like, sorry, I got to put on my Adidas. And people are like, what is an Adidas?
Yep.
yeah, I don't think I would do that.
I'm insufferable. I'm sorry.
As long as you know. All right. So after about 20 minutes or so, the runner comes back and he's got another dwarf with him. And they invite him in. Oh, hey boss, they're saying you want to know about the shell ship. Yeah, them squid faces were asking some questions, but they didn't really ask. You just feel things in your head. I hate it when they talk to me. So I just like kind of stonewall and try and drive them out. But they did ask who owned the ship, and they trying to remember now. I feel like Those little worms are in my head trying to know what's up. What was that noise?
Oh, I made a that noise.
Oh, okay.
At the
What did
worms
I
in
miss?
the brain, just bleh.
But I feel like those worms were in my head and they just wanted to know. They want to know when the owners would be back. I guess they want to know when we'd be done. And so I don't know. I figured maybe they're some sort of contact for whoever owns the ship. I guess. Was that you? He looks over at Dell.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Well, I guess they want to meet you. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really want to talk to them because I don't like how they talk. It pisses me off.
It's unnatural.
We're not allowed to just punch them for that stuff here, or I would have.
get that.
I'm not afraid of no squid faces. I'd put a hammer in their face any day.
And then they eat your brain.
Now, if you break that beak,
Oh yeah, that one doesn't eat your brain. The one that was standing behind you while you were breaking the other one's face does.
hey, I don't go to work alone. Got 6 other dwarves on my unit, man, whistling the whole time.
They're all like, ah!
Anyway, so
You're right there.
they were asking about us and when we'd be back. Anything else that they were asking about?
Not that I'm aware of. Like we all had pretty much the same reaction. We all just kind of shunned them and tried to ignore them and keep them out. And I guess because they're here, there's not much they're allowed to do. Like they can't try and force it. And I guess because we don't understand whatever the language they speak is, they can only use their mental thing. And if we deny it, then they're not allowed to keep doing it. And they obeyed that rule. So I guess you got that much going, is they're not openly breaking the rules.
That's good to know. All right. Thank you much.
And
Thanks
no
for the ale.
problem.
Good ale.
At which point, Garrulus will hand him a tankard of ale and take that with you. Oh, thanks. And he happily goes on his way with his new tankard of ale.
All right. I'll stick around and just socialize for a few minutes while I finish off my ale before heading back.
Garrulus will ask, like, hey, these guys a problem? Do we need to increase security?
I don't know yet, but I don't like the idea. I don't like the idea of anybody sniffing around, but I really don't like the idea of illithids sniffing around. I mean, we've got a Gith on our crew, for crying out loud. You know that could get ugly.
Yep, but it'd be fun to watch. Tell you what, I can throw an extra security guard or 2 down there while they're finishing up tomorrow. However, if you need more, I do have ins with other guilds around here. If you want to, but you'll have to set up an actual contract, but I can probably get you a discount.
How much longer do you think before the work's done?
Oh, day. You'll be done by tomorrow, no problem.
Okay, let's not worry about it at this point then. And if I do need you to help me set up something like that, we'll see by the end. We'll know by the end of tomorrow.
Hey, how's that little fairy girl Tinker? She's the one that brought you around here. She doing all right?
Oh yeah. She's up to her usual tricks.
Yeah.
Well, keep her safe. And I'm aware that'll be a tough order, but keep her safe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But on the other hand, all you got to do is hold up the right shiny at the right time, and
I'm not gonna pretend like that won't work. All right, Kihos and Beetlejuice, you two are gonna go and see if you can find one of those squid heads. And
Can I ask you a question? On our boat ride back to the rock, does that count as a long rest? Can I get my spells back?
It was only a couple hours. You can short rest it, but not long rest.
Okay. You said something about Jack?
Say it again.
You said something about Jack?
Jack? No. Who's Jack?
Okay, never mind.
I said that Kios and Beetlejuice could go looking for a squid head.
Yep.
One of your spies.
One of the spies. I don't know if the
Which
squid head is
at this point, I think y'all are assuming that the spies are probably the mind players.
Yeah, they might not be, or they might just be the thralls of the mind flayers. You never know. But I will, I guess, ask Kios to keep an eye out for them and help me search them out, and hopefully he'll give me a help action for a perception check
Okay.
Yes.
to try and track one down.
Go ahead and roll it up.
Perception +5, advantage, roll 23.
Nice. All right. So you go out there, and it actually doesn't take you very long with that roll. You see two of them. They're not together. There's one that is kind of pacing the docks, trying to look like he's just like maybe he's waiting for something, just kind of walking the length of the docks back and forth. But you'll notice another one that is much closer to the ship that's actually like kind of tucked up under the like the edge of another ship on the other side of you, not the nautiloid. On the other side, there's another ship parked, and he's just like kind of like hidden under a shadow, just kind of shrunk down, like he might. Like if you saw him, your first thought might be, I think, a homeless person sleeping there. But you, with that roll, are like, nope, I don't think that's what that is.
I'll look over at Kios and say, "What do you think, mate? The one pacing at 3 o'clock, or the guy under the dock there at 8?"
It actually takes you a moment to spot the one that's under the dock.
Pick your
Which one looks
pleasure.
tougher? I think we would go for the tougher one because we go for the lesser of the two.
Hey man, hey mate, they're wearing cloaks. I don't know which one is tough or not. The one huddled under the thing, I don't know, might be weaker, but and the
So
other one
there's a huddled
pacing.
one. The other one look big.
Howard, can we make out any type of like silhouette?
At this point, it would just be assumption. One is physically walking around. One's hunkered down in a fetal position, like he's a sleeping homeless person. So from their current positions, I would say the one laying down looks weaker, but there's no telling if they were to stand up next to each other.
Not particularly quick. Do you think you could grab the?
Oh, we're not gonna
huddled
grab.
one?
We're not gonna assault anyone. We're gonna walk up and have a little conversation.
Well, let's walk up and have a conversation.
Exactly. And if they don't answer us correctly, well, then we might have an altercation.
Yes.
Right.
Then the altercation.
We need to question them.
Before the altercation.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna have to follow your lead on this one. It goes against my plan, but I trust you.
Wait. What was your plan?
Altercation.
Like what way?
It stinks of vile evil, and
Mate,
I can't.
we're in a city. There are laws here.
Well, the laws against evil are greater than that of any single.
Look, I'm on your
City.
side here on this. I totally agree that, you know what? Maybe there should be a law that no evil people should be walking around. I'll get that. But there are consequences to breaking the law that we might not be invited back to this town. Or we might be permanent residents of this town, if you get me, mate.
Ah. So maybe you start with the talking.
Oh, I'm not as handsome as you, mate, but we'll give it a go.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
All right, you see the guy pacing. Y'all start to approach.
Man, that just kind of rolls off the tongue when you're doing like that British Cockney thing. Just like give it a go. Just feels right. I would never say that in my normal conversation, but there it just comes. Okay.
All right, so
I guess we'll flip a coin. Odd is the pacing guy, even is the dot guy. Odd. Twice. So guy sitting
or even, depending on how you look at things. Why did you roll 2 of them?
I don't know. I hit the wrong button.
Too many
6
choices.
more guys coming
Too
out.
many choices.
I see it as odd twice. So we're gonna
Okay.
go with the guy under the dock.
Okay.
We'll get that guy. It
I
will
would be.
probably blindside him.
Yeah.
Are you stealthing up there? Or are you just blatantly walking out there? Just out of curiosity.
I look at
what's your
Kios
approach?
in his big old metal armor, and I'm like,
I have a question. So, what kind of caliber of armor would I have received from the elves? Might it be more lightweight?
It was going to be delivered to your ship.
Oh, okay.
So it should
So
be arriving tomorrow.
all right, excellent. Well, I mean, apart from the armor, I'm pretty stealthy, so I like our odds.
hey, before we go over there, what's her name? The queen. What was her name again? The
The new queen or the old queen?
the new one.
Narifa.
Naritha.
Naritha.
Ashgard.
Okay.
Yes.
I say
That.
Naritha. Yeah, Naritha held her sword up and like changed it into something even better, right? I wonder if I can do the same thing with my little chainmail. Yeah.
Takes
Alright,
off
give
his
it-
clothes. He holds them up in the air.
By the power of the moon.
I'm thinking of in Legend of Zelda, the pose he makes every time he gets a new weapon.
In
A little sword hanging over his head.
In the name of the moon, I will punish you. All right. That weird thought aside, let's go.
Just get his clothes back on. Now I have to bring up the donning doffing rules. Takes a while.
I mean, I still haven't gotten the dead man stench out of it. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it was a corpse. We'll walk right up. Stealthing doesn't seem like Kios's thing, so
Okay. You walk across the pier, go down, you see a guy. He is basically he's tucked up in an area that is next to a ship where they would normally set crates to start getting loaded, but it's not currently used at night. So he's just kind of like on the edge of that in a shadow, trying to looks like a homeless person trying to sleep, except as you get closer, he doesn't have that reek of homeless person. No nice way to put that one. The unshowered, unclean smell that you might expect. And also his cloak looks fairly clean. He's
Well,
just clearly just tucked up there.
we don't have anything against the unhoused. Just
It's okay.
saying.
They're not watching. They don't have Wi-Fi in their cardboard box.
They got phones.
Going straight to heck.
For the record,
All available at your local public library.
I'm not okay with this line of joking because I actually used to be homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
I worked with the homeless until recently. I really don't have anything against them.
Okay.
But yeah, like, hearts go out to the unhoused and all of that. It's tough times, and we hope you get through it, and we'll support things that'll help you do that. let's
Home
get
free,
back to the
baby.
plot.
As I just bombed that. Sorry.
I will walk up to the guy and say, "Hey, mate, on your feet."
Well, actually, you don't. He doesn't make a noise. It kind of like shifts and doesn't say anything at first. I guess he kind of, after a moment, is aware you're still there, and he turns his head and looks at you.
I'll try and get a look under his cloak to see what he looks like.
All right, make a perception check versus my being stealthy. I don't want you to look at my face.
All right, sounds
Don't
good.
look at my face.
We don't want to look at your face either. It's okay.
No, I do.
Perfect.
That's 12. Didn't make that great of a roll.
What is my stealth? Oh, +2. I have a +2. When I roll a 17, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're like, as he's sitting up, he managed to adjust his stuff and sit up, and you get no good view. I will fix that a little bit because I like to have a view of the camera.
We like having a view of you two through the camera.
Also helps when I need to see my notes and you guys. And
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
so you can't see his face.
Yeah.
But he kind of stands and he kind of hunches a little. You would guess this fellow is maybe, you're like, you think he's maybe he's a dwarf, but he's not very stocky, but he's a little short. But he's also kind of like, his arms are spread. And he's like maybe he's ready, just like being squat in case you're about to fight and he wants to have that low center of gravity to start fighting up. But you get the idea that he might be shorter than you. But if he's a dwarf, he's pretty scrawny looking. They're usually fairly, dense, thick people with all the right curves and beards.
Mhm.
How do I want to do this? Do I want to be friendly and be like, let's get him some bread and stuff like that, or and buy into the whole thing, his whole shtick, or do I want to just confront him? Kios probably just wants me to confront
Tinker
him.
to pull your pants down. You can helicopter for him.
Oh my god! Oh.
Might as well-
Kihos is poised to be bad cop.
Might as well come right out and say it. Hey, mate, we noticed you had an interest in that ship over there.
I mean, it's interesting, but not that interesting.
Why don't you tell us what you got in mind?
I need a wisdom save from Corey. Oh, from Beetlejuice. Or Corey, either one. I want to see Corey's character sheet.
Yeah, I was about to say, what would the stats be?
I mean, I am the one making the roll. I'm giving you a wisdom save, so I got a +2. That's fair. Hey!
That's really good. All right. With that, you definitely feel like there's like a weird feel like someone is trying to read your mind. And you definitely feel it like trying to push further to like get more than your surface thoughts. And you immediately are able to just shut that off, assuming you want to, but I'm assuming you would.
I have a question.
Hmm.
Mind invasion like this is an attack, right?
Yeah, but it's really hard to see.
I don't care. Kios trusts me. I'll say, Kios, he just tried to whammy me.
Hey, we'll have none of that. Stop.
You sure told him.
Yeah, I tell him to stop with my magical, powering, booming voice, which is a halt command.
Are you actually casting command?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Awesome.
I think I make a wisdom save now.
I'm not so good at this.
It's an enchantment.
Oh, but my save is 13. I don't know why it says 12.
Oh, interesting.
Did it not update?
Guess not.
Change it on your sheet.
All right. You no longer feel that cold presence in your brain, Corey, or Beetlejuice.
No more worms.
And I don't know. I'm not going for like a full grapple, but like I'm gonna go for like his
Collar?
collar. That's
Good.
thank you. That's the word.
Pull his hood.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
I
yeah,
want
I'm
to do.
going-
Pull that hood off.
Yeah, let's yank his hood off.
Okay.
Why are you being so shady?
I'll say it's kind of like a grapple check to grab me. You can use your athletics, and I can resist. My athletics or acrobatics, whichever is higher.
Go with athletics.
That's a pretty good roll.
Ooh.
Well, that's a poop roll.
Kios is so strong. He's
You go,
strong,
you grab his
boy.
hood and you yank it, and you hear like a ripping sound in the material, and it just kind of hangs limply now, unless you continue to hold it. But
And that's why he's the Gith Yankee.
Oh,
Ah.
And then he suddenly fell dead of a heart attack, never to wake again.
All right. So upon the reveal, he has good hair, which is awful. Oh. But also, you reveal that whatever you're looking at is definitely not an Elithid. It does look like a dwarf, but it looks like an undead dwarf. There's like a slight, like faint red glow to his eyes. His skin is like rotted and fetid and like just hanging loosely on his bones. The reason he looks scrawnier than regular dwarf is most of the meat is emaciated. He's just thinner.
I feel like, oh mate, what did those squid heads do to you?
And you grabbed him, so he is going to grab you. So we go ahead and do initiative at this point.
Sounds great.
Because you've started it. I mean, it could be argued that something else started it with the mental attacks, but
Inception.
That's what I'm going to argue. Like, that was a mental attack. How he was trying to invade my brain space. Initiative. Boop. That didn't work. Hit it again. Oh, that's no good.
right. So me, then K-Host, then me, then Beetlejuice. So he will, because you grabbed him. He's gonna open his mouth and inhale, and it is a necrotic attack that you have to make a save against. So you have to make a con save.
is it like Kirby?
Kios?
Oh, me. I have to make a con save.
No, Kios does.
Oh, Kios needs to make a con save.
Kios is the one that grabbed him. So
Right.
there we go. Gonna figure out my hood better.
Yeah, you had a rather impressive cowlick going for a minute there.
That's why I wear the hood, so I never have to brush my hair again.
I have to say, for me today, I'm having an impressive
All right.
hair day.
That is half damage. That you will take half of.
Yeah, Keith always has an impressive hair day.
That is go up or down. I feel like it goes down. So I'm gonna give you 5 points of necrotic damage as he goes, and his eyes glow a little redder as you feel some of your life force be pulled out of you and into him. And his eyes glow a little brighter, like he's powering up off of you. Thanks. And there is that weird like guttural, strange, howling wind sound. Just go,
He
as
just
he
had a
does
little
it.
snack.
Yep. And then it is Kios' turn.
Break him in
I
two.
want to. I release to let go. I'm
Okay.
full, and but I'm going to use magic to the same. Well, I have to. I don't know if I could swing around with a cool maneuver to make weapon attacks at this thing. If I drop the grapple.
Okay.
Dropping the grapple is free. Uh, Pulling a weapon is an object interact, and then attack is interaction.
Okay.
And
Then
you-
I'm. Go ahead.
And you can spin around and do your attack like you're that guy from the Book of Boba Fett. Sure.
that's the hope. All right, so I'll make first attack.
Flourish doesn't count as any extra action. All right. So a 26 definitely hits me. So I guess I take 16 slashing.
And
Ow.
we'll put a smite on that. We'll use a second level smite to add 17 points of radiant damage to that.
Okay. That was a lot of damage right out the gate.
And that
All
is
right.
what that is one of two attacks now at 5th level. So I can do that again.
Oh,
Well, I'll attack again.
that hits.
So for another 13 slashing.
All right.
And then here's the one thing I wasn't sure if using a smite, does that count as casting a spell? If I have a bonus action spell, can I still?
Let me look up the wording for smite in 5th edition.
Well, it used to be a supernatural ability.
Because it is the divine. Smite. Oh, actually, no. I'm going to use an ability that I haven't used before that uses my smite, wherein I can use my bonus action to give us some temporary hit points.
Oh,
As
technically, all hit points are temporary.
truer words have never been spoken. So let's split that. We both take 6 temporary hit points. Me and you, Ramesh.
I don't know. There was 2 initiative rolls. I think somebody else is coming up from behind.
Okay.
Well, right. Well, there's 6 temporary hit points for you and for me, and that's the end of my turn.
Oh, I get 10 hit points. Thank you.
Yes.
6.
That's neat. All right. So then you didn't attack me the second time?
Well, so can I just revert? I'll put the smite on the second attack.
The inspiring smite is attached to a second attack. I did take the 13 slashing. That's what I
Yes.
need to know.
Yeah, so it takes all the
calculating
damage.
his hit points. Okay.
And then, yes.
Ready? Okay. All right. After you do that, the other hooded figure that was walking back and forth, as y'all said you were not being stealthy, that means you were in plain sight walking up doing this. Sees all this and is quickly headed away. He's going to move 60 feet. And I'm going to say he wasn't next to the other guy, so he was probably at least 30 feet away to begin with. So he's got a good 90 feet lead on you.
Yeah, we're not catching
And
him.
then it's Corey's turn. What's Beetlejuice doing?
Actually, I can catch him if he's 90 feet away from me. So, object interact, I will pull out my whip. Kios has got this guy. I guess I'll go get the other one. I will dash to 60 feet. And then I will starlight step an extra 30. And now he has to disengage if he wants to get away from me.
Okay, so you've caught up to him, but you haven't actually done.
I
things
can't
with him.
attack. Oh, no.
I was going to be impressed, really. If you go 90 feet away, you're like, "Oh, I'm going to hit him anyway."
But I got to him. And if he wants to leave, he can if he wants to take an attack of opportunity from me.
Okay.
Because now I got my
Then
whip.
that brings us back to the top of the round, which I believe is my undead dwarf creature who doesn't like all that damage. Yep. All right. So I'm going to attempt
Oh, Howard, I had a
to
bonus action.
grapple. Well, let's see. You let go of me, so we're no longer in a grapple. So I have to re-grapple to use this attack. So I'm going to attempt that first. See if that works. And you're not the easiest thing to grapple. Not with that roll.
I have a +6.
Yeah. He makes a motion like he's trying to like get onto you and just like eat you. And he is unable to do it. So he's going to use his other attack to just stick his bony like fingers into you like they're claws, just like.
It might be a
he
ghoul and it
failed to
might be
grapple?
paralyzed. You never know.
And his stats are crap. Yep, nope. Tink, darn you, wearing all this metal.
I was like, Tink, she's not there. She's playing with her new toy.
All right. So yeah, nothing happened with that. Now it is your turn again, Kios.
All right. Off with his head. We're gonna do another 2 attacks. So that's an 18 and a 23 to hit.
Both of those will hit me.
All right. And if it doesn't look like it's dead, I will smite it again.
How do you want to do this, dude? You've done a ton of damage to me.
I will. I want to take its head, and hopefully it retains the head, in like a big sweeping motion.
Well,
I think I need proof here.
These are our lithids we're dealing with. The head could open up and a little like brain dog could come out and start attacking you.
I don't even know what's up with you and your brain dog. All right, so
Can we adopt it?
as you take its head, which you do with incredible flourish, you are able to do it very, very adeptly.
A whirling dervish.
You're holding its hair because you took the hood off earlier. And you watch as the lights go out of its eyes, and you can see the entire body, which is already pretty emaciated looking, it gets like even thinner, and there's like this like ash-filled smoke that seems like pour out of it for a moment, and it doesn't completely like vanish into dust, but it becomes very delicate. Like you feel like if you tried, you could probably just like crush your hands on this thing, and it would probably just poof into dust. It is whatever this thing is. It is very, very ashy. It needs some lotion. You don't know, but it's like whatever is powering it is gone. You have definitely taken the life out of it.
He had a little piece of like it's the mind flayer from Stranger Things. It had the little piece of the goo inside of it.
As for you, Corey, the creature that is next to you that you've gone through a lot of trouble to catch up to looks at you and hang on.
Another will save, I'm sure.
That's tempting. All right. He has a lot of things he can do. I actually thought he would just get away, so I didn't bother pulling him up, but he didn't get away.
Oh dear.
So, gonna make it all tough.
He's gonna suck my brain out. This is the actual lithid. He's gonna be like,
Hey, oh.
I'm just gonna be like,
I have paid money to use D&D Beyond so I could somehow like save time and look things up when I need them, and I can never find anything when I need it on this site. So that's on them.
everyone says cancel your subscription to D&D Beyond. Punish WotC. Punish them.
I don't have a subscription, but I've already bought the books. So
Right.
I'm not going to stop using things I've already paid for. That's not hurting them. That's only hurting me. All right. Well, dang it. This is really annoying.
So how
Why
about
is
those
this-
footballers?
Oh, there's a space between mind and flare. That explains it.
Yeah, there is. You didn't know that?
Just
I
like
was
there's a
typing lipid.
hyphen in Spider-Man that
There
nobody
is a
ever
hyphen in
thinks about.
Spider-Man. I was typing the word lipid. I wasn't using their human name. All right. Okay. He is going to, because you're next to him and you are definitely trying to do stuff to him. He's going to melee weapon attack you. Oh, he gets 2. Cool. They're +7 each. And cool. We'll do that.
And on a successful
Ouchies.
grapple, he eats your brain.
This is not going to go well for me.
You chased me. Well,
Woo!
the first one missed.
Woo!
My God. Really? Well, that's just lame.
He's all flustered because I just teleported next to him. He's like, ah!
Where did you come from?
What kind of weapon am I being attacked with?
Oh yeah, these tentacles come out from under his hood and they reached for you, and they both missed you, but you're like, because they are big and scary.
Yeah.
Both of you are like at each other.
So that happened, but that technically was his round. So it's your turn now. What would you like to do?
All right. Get my shield out. Object interaction. And I'll go.
Okay. So you got your shield out. That's an action.
That is an action to get a shield?
Shields are an action. They're not a weapon interaction.
Well, I need my shield. Because
Okay.
this is crazy.
You have your shield. Would you like to
Um,
move or bonus action anything?
Yes, bonus action Hunter's Mark, I believe. Spells. What do I got here? Can you go to spells, please? Spells, please. There we go. Finally. Hunter's Mark. Yep. I cast Hunter's Mark on him so I can track him. I guess I won't pull my shield. I guess I'll just start attacking this guy. 'Cause that's the better move right now. Should always approach people with my shield in my hand. We're going to use my whip. First attack. There it is. I have a 23 to hit.
23 hits him.
+2, +7. So all of that works, and I get one more thing.
Okay.
Another +1 from the Hunter's Mark.
Hang on. All right.
I know I have all these little tack-ons for damage. I'm
So you
sorry.
did 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Mm-hmm. Then I will attack with my second attack. I also have 2 attacks. Does that hit?
20 hits.
Okay. It also has Hunter's Mark, so there you go.
All right. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay.
These little add-ons do add up.
Yeah,
All right.
that's how I built my character, because whips are kind of crappy.
Yeah.
I mean, even in real life, they're not a good weapon.
Okay. It is Kihos's turn,
Okay.
because the corpse next to him's not doing anything.
No,
Hey, Kihos. You turn around, you see your friend. He definitely has a big tentacle monster attacking him from under that cloak.
Yes. Well, I drop the head, and I'm going to use my dash action to go 60 feet, and then I got really powerful at level 5. It's a great thing, because at level 5, as a Gith Yankee, I get once a day, I can cast Misty Step. So I can close the 90-foot gap and get up in melee range.
All right, you are
And that's
there.
a bonus action, so it's
Nice.
Yeah. I use my action to dash, so I can just get into the fray.
All right. It is now my turn. Are you a sentinel or something? Did you get an attack if I attack?
I am a sentinel.
Corey does that. Okay, so Kios doesn't do that, right?
Yeah,
No.
I am the sentinel.
Okay, well, you're the one hitting me. So I feel like you're going to be the one I'm attacking first. I don't know. The way I'm rolling, I might not do anything. I mean, that's phenomenally bad.
16 armor
It's
class,
like-
sir. You need
I
16 or
swear
more.
it's a scary creature. It says so in the thing.
You forgot to go ooga booga.
All right. Oh, I can just do that. Nah, I think I'll beat on you for a round first. All right.
Seems fair
I
to
will
me.
just see. I have to beat you with my tentacles before I can extract your brain, or I could mind blast you, which is pretty fun. Oh, I can mind blast the both of you with a 60-foot cone. That sounds nice. Let's do that.
yay cone attacks.
Both of you make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw. Or I get to roll 48 plus 4 and you just take it.
Ouchies.
Or half if you don't do it.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fail this. I got a -1 to my intelligence.
I'm smarter than you? That's not good.
Oh no, you both failed. All right. So first, hang on. Let me get back to the mind player stat block there. 48 plus 4. So where's the damn roller? Do it. There. This plus 4. All right. So 25
25.
points of psychic damage to both of you.
I have resistance to psychic damage, so I will take half.
Correct. And you are both stunned. Is it stunned for a minute? Hang on. I know it sucks.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. I do stun.
Mind blast. A creature. Okay. A psychic damage can be stunned. All right. So yeah, stunned for 1 minute. You are considered incapacitated. You can't move. You can't speak. Only falteringly. You automatically fail all strength and dex saves. And I have advantage to attack you. And as you're stunned, it doesn't say that you auto lose your concentration.
I do have to make a
But
concentration
I
check.
feel like you should. And even if you don't, at the very least, you definitely have to make a save
I have to make a
con check.
concentration check.
Thanks.
Yeah.
for all the damage you just took. All right. Let me look up how that concentration check works because I think it's pretty high.
Yeah, with 25 points of damage, I think it's like whatever it is plus the damage you took. So I think I lost my concentration.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, it has to be half of that.
Is it half my damage I take, or
I
I'll
don't know.
just look it
I
up?
thought it
here.
was half the damage or 10, whichever is higher.
Yeah.
Use for concentration.
that
It's
sounds
concentration
right.
con
So
saving
that
throw
would
with DC equal to 10 or half the damage you take, whichever is greater. So,
So 12.
So I'm still
okay,
concentrating.
well then
on
you're
it.
good. But you are stunned.
For a minute. Wow. Do we get saves
That's
every
like
round,
10
or is it
rounds.
just a
Yes.
minute that he just
It
has
is
his
just a minute. dude.
Wow. We are on the dock, so hopefully people see this happening. Or maybe he'll just
Yeah,
escape.
it says, I'll read the whole thing if you like. The Mind Flayer magically emits psychic energy, 60-foot cone. Each creature in the area succeeds on a DC 15 intelligence save or takes 48 plus 4 psychic damage and be stunned for 1 minute.
Yep.
A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Oh, that's good news.
There we go.
Ending the effect on itself on a success.
That's what I thought. Every round we get a saving throw.
All right. Oh, and I have to, it's like a dragon. I have to recharge it to use it again.
So now it's a race to see who's smarter.
It still is action.
And he will, as he is feeling fairly safe right now, as you are both frozen in our horrible psychic pain, he steps out of reality. Plane shift.
All right.
That's unreal.
It's on his stat block. I didn't make it up.
No,
And with that, I'm going to say that's where we're going to end. The two of you trying to pull yourselves together as you just got your butts handed to you on the docks.
Not a bad idea.
I mean, I'm going to call it a draw.
Of course you do.
But, you know, the Mind Flayer wins, but we also win here.
Well,
Because
all
you
he did was
survived.
get away. We got some good licks in.
He clearly chose not to stand there and eat your face.
I mean, there were two of us and two of them, and now there's only one of them. Think about it like that. All right.
So yeah, the thing that you were testing against, I actually made the difficulty wrong. It should have been higher, but it was the Mind Flayer that was looking in your brain, not the dwarf zombie.
I still made a very high roll.
Yeah, you did, but I it doesn't matter.
Yeah. My wisdom save was 21. It was really high. All right. Game over, guys. We'll see everybody next week. Next week Friday, unless something happens, either good or tragic. I don't know. We won't keep you in the loop. This game will just happen or it won't. Hey, thanks to our patrons again. You can join our Patreon at patreon.com/deadunicorn, and there's all sorts of RPG stuff there. And you can talk to us directly, and I will always answer you guys. Hey, we'll see you later. Happy New Year. Go roll some dice.